Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today for this look at the general trending energies for the period from the full moon on September 20th till the new moon on October 6th, 2021. Here comes the disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Any resulting enlightenment is purely coincidental and unintentional. So the elements that have presented themselves for this reading. First we have the Beloved card from the Wisdom of the Cailleach deck. And I will say this card jumped out of the deck, so it's very, very emphatically wanted to be used. We also have the Eight of Vessels, or Rebirth, from the Wildwood Tarot. And our Celtic tree ogham this time is Gorse. A few days after the full moon, we're going to have the equinox. Autumn here in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. And I will say what I'm gleaning from all these elements is very much a celebration of equinoctial energy, particularly the autumn equinox. For that, I want to start with gorse, because one of the main associations of gorse is harvest. So here at the equinox in the fall, it's harvest time. Gorse signals to us that it is time to take stock of what we have harvested. What have we done? What have we learned? What have we accomplished? What have we nurtured and grown in our lives over the past few months, perhaps even the past few years? And by taking stock, we can see where our strengths are and celebrate those strengths, our accomplishments. What are you proud of? What are you proud of having in your life? What knowledge have you accumulated? What talents have you honed? And also, what relationships have you nurtured and really cultivated to mutual benefit? Gorse, as a flower remedy, is used for people who have lost all faith in life and who may think that the only thing they have harvested is illness or despair. But it's good at restoring hope and really helping us take a look at our accomplishments and feeling confident that we can use what we have learned in the past and what we have done as a base from which to move forward. Here we go with rebirth, and that's exactly what this card is about looking at the past, using our past to move forward. We decide who we want to be. Who do we want to be now? How do we want to present ourselves? How do we put our best foot forward? How do we live a fulfilling life based on experience? Now I'm going to look at Beloved. As I said, this card just jumped out on its own. It's also about gathering in, like harvest here with the gorse ogham. But you see, it's gathering in relationships. This is about loving and forgiving. I see also in it reunion, but perhaps most importantly, my first impression of Beloved this time was soul retrieval. I feel this is about reclaiming parts of ourselves that may have been lost, harvesting our full self, our full soul identity, as well as forgiving and loving those parts of ourselves that may seem unlovable or unforgivable. So combining all these elements and with the energy of the equinox in mind, this period feels like a good time to take stock of where we've been and where we're going, the balance point between the past and the future, just as the equinox is the balance between day and night. Another aspect I want to bring up of the Beloved card in relationship to harvesting and to recreating ourselves and rebirth is that this feels like a really very good time to do soul retrieval if you feel that is necessary or desirable, or exploring past lives. By exploring our previous lives, we can get insight into what's going on in this lifetime, and by integrating that, it can help us with the rebirth and becoming more fully who we want to be. I even see this somewhat on a global scale, that the nations could be looking at themselves and their identities and taking stock. What are our resources? What are our strong points? How do we want to present ourselves on the world stage? Admittedly, that could be, they could follow a course of intimidation, manipulation, but I'm going to dwell on the idea that it's more for cooperation. One country has an abundance of A, B, and C, but they're lacking D, and another country has an abundance of C, D, and E, so we work together. We present our strengths to make a unified community. So whether it's on personal level or global level, universal level, this moon period and the equinox is a time for harvesting all the positive things that we've done, perhaps looking at where our harvest has not been so fruitful, and making a decision. Why did I not accomplish this intention, or why were my results not what I was hoping for? Maybe you didn't have time to devote to an intention that you had set. Maybe you got distracted by other necessities or by somebody else's needs. Maybe you just lost interest. So along with feeling proud of what you have accomplished and realizing that you have a lot to offer the world, and moving forward from that solid base, you can also decide, well, I intended to do this thing, but for some reason I was kept from it. Do I want to put it on the back burner and get back to it later? Or do I just want to let it go? It's a time of assessment. Some of the previous readings I have done recently had abundance as a theme. That is, noticing the abundance in the world, but that seemed a more external focus. What the world had to offer, what the world could use to support each of us. And this is more of an internal assessment. What do we have within us? Whatever it is, it's enough, and it is time to move forward with a rebirth, being who you want to be, and be loving yourself. So I wish you all a happy equinox, happy harvest, and until the new moon, when we may be revealing who we want to be for the next phase, I bid you farewell. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.